right, well, it's Monday morning. The birds are chirping. You can probably hear them behind me, or actually they're in front of me. Behind me is the Dice Tower Studios, and so this is the beginning of a week in the life of Mike DiLisio at the Dice Tower. And so, you know, here we go. We're going to see everything that I go through on a weekly basis. Here we go. Let's go into the Dice Tower Studios. Hopefully I'm not going to interrupt Tom in the middle of recording. Let's do this. Let's go. There we go. All right. Monday morning. Let's go. Okay, so generally Monday morning, my first order of business is to get myself prepared for the live board game breakfast that now is being hosted by Tom and Chris and Wendy. And so what I do is I kind of go through everything that I prepared at the end of last week, make sure that everything is current. And I'm going to show you the kind of live stream machine that we use. It's actually just a computer, but the live stream software that we use, and get that all set up and ready to go for Monday's breakfast. So next thing you see should be that. Okay, in preparation for breakfast, this is the main studio. So what I'm going to be doing here in a few moments is I'm going to be setting this camera up. Tom sits in this kind of caddy corner area. So I'll get the camera set up and have him framed up nicely. And then over here is kind of the workstation that I'm going to be using for board game breakfast. So this computer is going to power up. I'm going to be running a software called Ecamm, which is our live stream software, and that's going to be how we run breakfast. So what I've taken to doing, since I've been kind of the behind the scenes running of the Monday board game breakfast, is I kind of put together a little, a running order for Tom, and it just kind of goes through the show. Okay, so now we've got things somewhat set up. So I actually said I was setting up for Tom, but I forgot. Now we're doing a three-way host of board game breakfast. So I set up for a three-shot here. There's Tom. There's Chris.
You forgot about me. This breaks my heart, Mike.
I didn't forget about Wendy. I definitely forgot about Chris. And Z is pretty close to irrelevant when it comes to Monday breakfast. So he's just here looming, always looming. All right, well, we've got our countdown screen set up and ready to go. This is our 1 minute to air, a little kind of bumper that we have.
Do I have time to go to the bathroom?
Sure, go for it. Here we go. We're going to go live right now.
Anyway, I played it with my kids, and you know what? It's held up pretty well. They made a ton of variants for Carcassonne Hunters and Gatherers. They made a ton of variants for Carcassonne, and I think this is one of the better ones. This week,
say that again, Tom.
Behind the scenes.
And Mike this week is doing his blog here, a week in the life of Mike DiLisio. Hopefully, it just shows the non scandalous moments.
Outrageous. And we are done with another board game breakfast. And there they are. Look at that behind the scenes. They are flush with excitement over another successful board game. Look at the excitement. Look at the excitement. All right, so it's still Monday morning, actually, and we just finished up with Board Game Breakfast, recording that, as you saw. And now, next up for me is I'm going to be putting together a review that I filmed the review portion of it just a few moments ago. I'd done the overview last week, and so I'm going to be putting that together. That is scheduled to go up tomorrow, so this is what I'm going to be working on for a little bit, and I'll kind of show you what it looks like when it's all put together. Okay, so the review has now been kind of put together, and it's now going through a rendering process in Final Cut Pro, which is the program that we use for our content here at the Dice Tower. And so this is a review that, as I said, I just kind of finished up earlier this morning. When I do reviews, typically, please ignore the messy desk, I have like just a little kind of not a script, but a set of notes that I kind of refer to so that I make sure I'm hitting all of the main topics I want to cover. So while this is rendering, what I tend to like to do on kind of time like this, where my computer is tied up is I find myself asking Chris a number of questions while he's trying to work. Chris, what's your favorite fruit-based Pop-Tart flavor? What's your,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. What's the name of that bear, Chris?
Fozzie.
Fozzie. That's a good name for a bear. Why hasn't anyone ever thought of that before?
Fozzie Buffalo.
Okay, so it's still Monday, and now next up is some Spring Spectacular re-uploading. So this is not something I do every week, but this is something I'm doing this week because this is basically the week after we did our Spring Spectacular. And one of the things we like to do is we take things that were live streams and we re-upload them so that people that didn't get a chance to see them live can now see them. And Tom is shouting about a hammock. It's now everything. This is what happens. You try to work and you get distracted by things like hammocks.
Are there hammocks?
How can anything get done around here? This is outrageous. Okay, so with all of those shenanigans from the hammock notwithstanding, I was able to get going on the Spring Spectacular re-upload. So this is Final Cut Pro. You've been seeing a little bit of this already today. I spend a lot of the day on this program. All right, so we're getting close to the end of the day on Monday, and I feel like it was a relatively productive day, even with all the shenanigans going on around here, but was able to get Board Game Breakfast done. We had a good, successful Board Game Breakfast show. I got one of my reviews shot and edited and uploaded. Got several contributor reviews up there and uploaded. Was able to get a couple of the live plays from the Spring Spectacular re-uploaded and kind of put together with the new intro and outro. The one thing that I'm going to probably have to save for tomorrow is going to be a top 10 from Tom. He does the Publisher's Top 10 just about every week, and I've got one of those that I've got ready to put together, so I'll probably be doing that tomorrow, but tomorrow's a new day, and we'll come back with it Tuesday. But for now, this was a good Monday.
Hey Mike, did you get me that top 10 list of 6-player games?
Oof. Okay, well, it's Tuesday morning now, day 2 of this week, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up the top 10 list that Chris was asking me about at the end of the day yesterday. There's top 10 6-player games is what we're doing this week, and so I had a short list. I kind of have my little notebook here that I had put together a list of games. Okay, so from my short list, I've kind of made the changes that I wanted to, and what I do at this point is I make a folder that has the images, the box cover images, and then a picture of components. All right, so here I am in the back studio getting ready to record the overview for my review of Art Robbery here, which will already be up by the time this airs. And so basically I've just got set up here the main components, but I also have some cards kind of staged here that I'm going to be referring to when I do the overview of the game. So I'll just talk through the overview for a few minutes, then I'm going to kind of reframe the camera. I'll be over in this corner where I'm going to go over my actual review, but I film the overview first, then I do my review, then I'm going to stitch all this together into a hopefully cohesive project and then upload that. So this is my next task for this Tuesday morning. All right, here you go. This is a view that I have quite a bit throughout the week. This is the Final Cut Pro rendering out my Art Robbery review. Now that I've got it all kind of put together, went through, made sure that all of the graphics are aligned to where they need to be. All right, so for Tom's top 10 publisher video, what I'm going to do is I've already got kind of a template set up. You can see the last one he did, or that I did of his, was this Thames and Cosmos small box. And so he's got Czech Games Edition is going to be the next one that's going up this week. All right, so here we are after the editing has been done. And so you can see basically it's following that same format. I just have the new games in here for the Czech Games Edition list, and I've put in some game photos along with the boxes, and this is going to be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and mark off where each number starts for my timestamps, render this out, put it up onto YouTube for your enjoyment. All right, well, it's Tuesday afternoon now, and the next thing up that I typically do around this time is look at the upcoming Kickstarter projects for tomorrow's crowd surfing shows. I go through these, get a sense for the game. Usually we'll try to have some idea of what my pick of the week is going to be. Sometimes that comes a little bit later. But, for now, I'm going to be spending the next probably, 40 minutes or so looking through these projects and seeing if I can get a sense for what this week is looking like. Okay, so it's Tuesday, 2/14, and so that means that we are less than an hour to go for Shoots and Marbles. And so this is a big process that I go through every week where Tom sends me the kind of the score sheet, and someone's, let's see here, what does that say here? In real time, what's happening here? Might get back to work. Seriously, is he something? I don't know. I have a feeling there's some shenanigans going on. I believe the only other person that has access to this right now is Roy Cannaday. So that means that if I'm not working on it, that is Roy Cannaday. Anyway.
Don't blame me. Come on. I just told Tom to do it.
See. So you wonder, how does anything get done here? The answer is, it doesn't. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to go into mission control, Shoots and Marbles. Now, this is a very exciting week, isn't it, Tom? We are
Currently running stress tests to make sure the marbles work. And yet, somehow, there's still a problem when running.
Yeah, it always seems to happen, but my spot is right over here. I'm going to have my computer here, and that's where I'm going to be running my kind of points. Roy back here runs the actual software using Ecamm and Stream Deck, similar to what I showed you when I was doing my breakfast stuff. All right, so we got the whole team here. We're getting ready to go. You can see we've got the entire crew. Everybody is involved in this
Wendy's not here.
event. Well, except for Wendy. Yeah, we're going to be going live in about 12 minutes. Look, Chris, you're killing me. This is kind of my view of things. And as per typical, we're getting ready to do a live stream. You can maybe hear in the background the lawn care people, which is what typically happens whenever we're getting ready to run a live stream. That's when they come to cut the lawn. Roy is going to...
doing it over us doing it.
That's correct. And there you go. Let's just...
I gotta warm up my fingers.
Yes, Roy is doing finger calisthenics. In 15th place with 136 points is Drink Your Ovaltine.
Yeah! I'm not in last!
In 14th place with 143 points is Fissure.
Yeah! Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Mike DiLisio.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
And I'm Roy Cannaday.
Have fun!
Bark.
It's electric.
Okay, so Wednesday morning, midway through the week, and my typical routine, as I think I mentioned yesterday, is that on Wednesday mornings, I get the news ready for tomorrow's Board Game Breakfast Live. And so the process behind that is, I think, again, I mentioned briefly yesterday, is I put together a PowerPoint. So there you see the beginnings of the PowerPoint, and I'm going to have a little document here where I get the news. It comes from a number of different sources. I get actually some information from Corey Thompson, who does Dice Tower Now, a really good podcast on the Dice Tower Network. So he gives me some of their main stories they're looking at, and then I also search through other board game media. I also get some things sent to me from Tom, some emails of press releases and things along those lines. So I kind of put that all together, and that's my first order of the day. So that's what I'm working on. What Chris handed me. Chris is handing. Are these news items or I? Okay. So I'm a little bit. Yeah, I'll get back to you guys. Okay. So went through the different sources and got our news pretty much good to go. I'm going to probably be adding some things, I'll check all the way up until tomorrow morning. And so if there's any last minute news items or things that break between now and our airing of the show about 24 hours from now, then I'll add them to this PowerPoint presentation. But for now, I've got a pretty good set of news items for Tom and Z and Bonacor, and moving on to my next plan for today is I've got one more review that I want to get shot, so I'm going to go ahead and get set up for that. All right, so the Comic Hunters review is done and edited, and now it is getting rendered to get ready to get uploaded later on. Also, coming up next, we're going to be recording our 4 Squares review of First Empires, and I'm a part of that. So that's going to be my my next goal for the day, is getting set up for that 4 Square review. So I'll show you a little bit of behind-the-scenes fun for that as well. So I forgot to film during our review, our 4 Square review, and I also forgot to film during crowd surfing. So Z, you and Camilla were involved in both of those. So I would like a detailed description of everything that happened. Can we just actually role play through that 4 Square review again? Let's just start from the top. Just go with, hi, this is Z Garcia.
Hey everybody, this is Z Garcia.
I'm already out. This is boring. All right, so we're getting to close to the end of the day on Wednesday, and tomorrow, I guess the big thing is going to be just finalizing the news for Board Game Breakfast. We have a big top 10. We're going to be doing the top 10 6-player games, so I've got that ready to go, but we'll be filming that tomorrow. Also, depending upon how things shake out, I may get a little bit of a head start on some of my end of the week type of things, where really I get ready for Monday's Board Game Breakfast that I edit, and then the week in review. So moving ever forward, I will catch you all tomorrow. All right, well, happy Thursday, everybody. It's just got into the studio today, and a couple of things I know I'm going to be working on. Number one, I want to make sure that the news is ready to go. That's my kind of the first thing I do on Thursday mornings, make sure the news is ready for today's live Board Game Breakfast. I know that I'm going to want to film my segment for the week in review, and that's also something that I can try to get a head start on getting the week in review ready to go. And I'm also going to start actually trying to get this video put together, starting to compile the clips I've filmed already, get the intro all set up, and get a little bit of a head start on the production of this video so that it can go up as soon as possible, because I know the public is clamoring. So one of the other things I like to do early in the mornings when I get here is I come into this back room, which is kind of, I don't know, it's thought of as mostly the unboxing studio, although also do reviews and things back here. But I'll come and look, because early in the mornings, Tom gets here, usually he's the first one here, and he will unbox some games that he has gotten, and then they go to this area, which is just a shelving area of games that need to be put onto the unboxing channel. And so I'll look and see if there's something new that is striking to me personally, and or striking to somebody else, so that we can get it opened up and looked at. And right here is one that I actually had been interested in quite a bit. This is Museum Pictura. This is kind of a follow-up to the game Museum, where it's kind of like a re-implementation. Sorry, we're getting some glare on here, but that's all right. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to unbox this one for the unboxing channel. All right, next up, I'm shooting my week in review clip, and then I'm going to get Tom's week in review clip and bug the other people to get me their week in review clip, put them all together and get that ready to go. That's something that I always spend a bit of time on towards the end of the week. That's a short video, but it takes a long time to put it together. So I like to get as early of a start on it as possible. All right, so my part is done. Here's the next part. Hey, Chris, can you do your week in review? Chris, can you do your week in review?
No.
Darn it. All right, so just getting a head start on Board Game Breakfast for next week. So this is kind of the process that we're almost coming full circle, because when I started this week on Monday, I was doing the Board Game Breakfast from clips that I put together the week before. That's what I'm doing right now. So here you can see basically next week's intro with the new number. I render these out, they go into the live stream machine, and they'll be good to go for next week. All right, getting ready for our top 10 list this week. Top 10 games for 6 players. We're going to be going live. There's Roy, there's Chris. Now, Chris is usually not. Well, not usually. Sometimes you run these, but usually not. He's just back here looming. I think that's the right word.
I like how you say he's not. He's usually not, you're saying.
He's usually not back here. Yeah, usually
the intro and the outro.
he makes himself scarce.
Give him some respect.
So we're getting ready for this. I'm here. Tom's here. We've got an empty chair that will be Z Garcia, I assume, here very soon. Yeah, here's our body double.
Garcia.
He's the seat holder.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody, this is Z Garcia. There we go. All right. Hey, there he is. The real man. The body double is now gone. Now the top 10 can start. That's right. He was keeping your seat warm.
Which one?
Just finished up our top 10 games for 6 players.
I ate camel meat. I didn't eat a horse. I ate a camel. Is that better?
No.
I think better.
I think so. No one liked camels.
It's
It wasn't very good meat.
You're doomed either way. Anyway, there's another top. Oh no! All right, I was able to get the week in review segment from everybody this week, so I was able to put that together, which is nice. Sometimes that has to wait until Friday, but got this one done on Thursday. Basically, once this gets rendered out, which it's doing right now, I just made a little list of all the games that are in this actual episode, and then those are going to be put into YouTube. Okay, well, happy Friday. It's the last day of the week, and this is not going to be a typical Friday, and that's why actually some of the things that I was doing earlier in the week I was kind of pushing forward because I knew that we were doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be doing a spring cleaning, and obviously this is not something that you do every week or it wouldn't be spring cleaning. That implies a bigger thing here. So we've got some cleaning products already getting set up here, and we're all going to be kind of working on getting things looking nice again and tip-top shape.
I don't know who's reviewing that. I think Z is.
I think Z might be, yes. This is the introductory.
We just did something with that game, right?
All right, Mike, narrate what's happening here.
Right now, what we are doing is we are going through this kind of staging area, which is where games go before they get unboxed. We're determining which ones we're keeping here in the studio for us to review, which we're sending off to our other reviewers that are outside of the studio, and then other games that are probably going to be sold at Dice Tower West, primarily. We're just kind of doing some organization because we're in the middle of cleaning, and now we can clean stuff off once we have a little more space.
Now say something funny.
No. I felt pretty good about that one.
All right.
We are cleaning, actively cleaning. We've got cleaning supplies.
Culling mugs currently.
Mugs.
Mug.
All right, this one's
Mug culling.
automatically in. This is garbage. It's Christmas.
Random brownies. Those are getting cleaned up in their own way. All right.
Mike's too humble to film these highlights of working for a YouTube channel.
Look, this kind of glamour, I don't want to shove it in people's faces. You know, this is the type of thing that,
And it's getting shoved in someone's face, I'll tell you something.
Indeed. We're pressure washing outside. Let's see if we can get a little look. All right, well, it's Friday afternoon and we're not done with cleaning. You could probably still hear the pressure washing going on in the back porch there, but to be honest, this is where this video is going to end because I still need to put this together to get it ready to go up before I leave for the day, and we still have some other things to take care of here. So one of the things that I guess I'm going to end with is that there really is no such thing as a typical week here at the Dice Tower. We don't always have spring cleaning going on. We don't always have the top 10s, but there are some general things that I do, and I think you saw most of those. So hopefully you enjoyed getting a little sneak peek behind the curtain of what life is like here at the Dice Tower on a weekly basis. But until next time, this is Mike DiLisio signing off from Dice Tower headquarters.